Good evening, Singapore, and to all our viewers across the globe. Greetings to you, our partners, friends, and faithful supporters. Welcome to Bayanihan Talks webinar series. I am Minerva Lau, a member of the board of the Philippine Bayanihan Society Singapore, and your host tonight. We sincerely hope you are all keeping safe and well wherever you are. Tonight, we have an exciting topic and a very distinguished guest speaker. Exciting because we will be learning about a new opportunity for an investment, investing your funds and money for higher returns, how to grow your money more than what banks can give, and at the same time, investing in the Philippine growth and supporting the Philippine fight against this pandemic. We are also honored and privileged again to have Ms. Rosalina V. De Leon, the Philippines' own treasurer, head of Bureau of Treasury, to discuss this first ever US dollar onshore bond issuance in the country, giving each OFW a great but simple window of opportunity. Indeed exciting, but before we proceed, please indulge me and allow me to introduce our Philippine Bayanihan Society here, which has been hosting webinars since June last year. The video will give you a glimpse of who we are and what we do.
Of the Philippine Bayanihan Society of Singapore, I welcome you to the Bayanihan Center. The Bayanihan Center has opened its doors to support the educational, social and cultural needs of Filipinos and others in Singapore. Thanks to the strong partnership between the government of the Philippines and Singapore and the initiative of our founding president, Ms. Jenny Chua, and Vice President, Mr. Ning de Guzman. Since its establishment in 2001, more than 13,500 people have undergone skills training at the Bayanihan Center. But the Bayanihan Center is located at 43 Pasir Panjang Road. It provides classrooms, facilities and support for volunteers and community groups to conduct various short-term courses including basic and advanced computer training, nursing aid, hotel and restaurant management, dressmaking, caregiving, cooking, and baking and cosmetology. To foster the socio-cultural ties between Filipinos and Singaporeans, we also organize the Bayanihan Walk. It is an annual event to bring together people from all across sectors of Singapore in a fun walkathon to promote integration of Filipinos with the Singaporean community. Tara na mak Bayanihan Center na.
What happened?
And now I am delighted to have the pleasure of inviting His Excellency, the Philippine Ambassador to Singapore, Mr. Joseph Del Maria, to give his welcome remarks.
Thank you. Good evening. The Honorable Treasurer of the Philippines, Ms. Rosalina De Leon, Honorary President of the Philippine Bayanihan Society of Singapore, Mr. Ranveer Kumar Singh, officials of PBSS, friends from the Bureau of Treasury, my dear kababayans in Singapore and other parts of the world who are viewing this event. Good evening to you all. I would like to thank Treasurer De Leon and the BTR for continuing their initiative of holding online financial literacy sessions that benefit the Filipinos here in Singapore. As many of you may know, Singapore is home to around 200,000 Filipinos and is one of the Philippines' top sources of overseas remittances. Filipinos here are also known for their high financial literacy and have been very receptive to the offerings of retail treasury bonds and other offerings made by the Bureau of Treasury. My dear kababayans, the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us the value of saving for a rainy day. Some of us have had to tap into our savings to tide us and our loved ones over during this crisis. It is therefore important that while we are still gainfully employed, we must continue to find ways to secure our financial future and safeguard ourselves just in case another crisis comes along. Tonight's online session will introduce us to the latest offering of the BTR, the Retail Dollar Bonds or RDBs, which will be offered starting this month. OFWs can invest as little as $100 in RDBs with no fees involved, and these are available in tenors of 7 to 10 years. RDBs allow potential investors to diversify their investments and reduce their overall exposure to risks with a yield that is higher than the interest rate of a bank time deposit. What's more, by investing in this instrument, you are also taking an active part in nation building, as the government will use your investment in funding priority projects like the Build program. For every dollar that you will invest in the RDB, you are also contributing to the economic development of our country, which ultimately will benefit us all and our posterity. It is therefore my hope that this online financial literacy session will be a huge success and will again translate to more investments from Filipinos in Singapore. Again, many thanks to PBSS and BTR for organizing tonight's RDB online financial literacy session. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Joseph, for those inspiring words. And now, without any further delay, may I invite Ms. Ajani Dose, an investment banker and representative from Land Bank of the Philippines, to introduce our distinguished guest. Ajani is also our guest moderator for the Q&A session tonight. Ms. Ajani, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mini. Magandang gabi po sa ating mga kababayan in Singapore. Magandang araw din sa ating viewers na nasa iba't ibang panig ng mundo na nanonood ngayon sa ating Facebook. Join us once again in another financial literacy session. This time, it's about the retail dollar bonds or RDBs. Now, I'd like to introduce you to our speakers na magbibigay sa atin ng mga detalye tungkol sa RDBs. Of course, we are honored to have with us from the Bureau of the Treasury, the Treasurer of the Philippines, Rosalina V. De Leon. And from our partner banks, we have Mr. Jose Emmanuel Valdez, Assistant Vice President and Relationship Officer at the Overseas Filipino Bank. Also, we have Mr. Roberto Marco Samson, Business Development Section Head for Mindanao at the First Metro Securities Brokerage Corporation. And finally, we have Mr. Jude Calamba, Assistant Manager at the Development Bank of the Philippines. Now, it's time to know and understand the motivation behind the retail dollar bonds offering. So let's hear it from none other than the Treasurer of the Philippines, Rosalina V. De Leon.
Thank you, Ajani, and good evening to all our fellow kababayans in Singapore. First, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank our Philippine Ambassador to Singapore, His Excellency Joseph Delmar Yap. Thank you for being our constant partner of the Bureau of the Treasury in championing financial literacy and inclusion to our overseas Filipino community in Singapore. I would also like to express gratitude to the hardworking staff of our embassy and the Philippine Bayanihan Societies in Singapore, especially Ms. Ma'am Mini Lau, who are all represented in today's briefing. Thank you for all your support in arranging this channel to have dialogues with our overseas Filipinos to discuss our retail treasury bond and premium bonds offerings, even if we are more than thousands of kilometers away. Maraming salamat din po dahil consistent po ang Singapore bilang our number one sa mga countries in terms of participation sa aming mga bond offerings. Maraming salamat po. Now, we are back once again with a fresh and innovative structure that we believe would be interesting for our overseas Filipinos in Singapore, and we hope that we will receive the same strong support that you have given us in our past offerings. Taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture of the government's borrowing strategy, we at the Bureau of the Treasury need to raise around 3 trillion pesos this year, primarily to finance the national government's response to spur economic activity in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as to fund the massive infrastructure push of the administration to maximize our economic efficiency. Now, as part of our prudent debt management strategy of reducing foreign exchange risk in our portfolio, we plan to raise around 80% or 2.4 trillion pesos through domestic sources of funding. This includes the weekly treasury bill and treasury bond auctions that we conduct here at the Bureau. The other sources, which I believe you are more familiar with, are the retail treasury bonds or RDBs, and of course, the premium bonds. If you can remember, we have raised more than 460 billion pesos in our issuance of RTBs last March, which has already helped fund the government's initiatives to combat the pandemic. Meanwhile, on the external side, we have our official development assistance, commonly known as our program and project loans. These are concessional financing that we get from our multilateral partners, such as the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank, as well as bilateral partners like the Japan International Cooperation Agency. For our external borrowings, we also issue our global bonds. We have our Samurai, Panda, and Euro bonds. Most of our global bonds are really the US dollar denominated, which we commonly refer to as ROPs. So for our discussion tonight, let me focus on the ROPs, particularly on how we set the rate at which we borrow through these US dollar denominated bonds. Whenever we talk about the pricing of government bonds, we always look at the rates relative to a specific benchmark. So in the case of the US dollar denominated bonds, the benchmark is what we call the US Treasuries. Why US Treasuries would serve as the benchmark for pricing our ROP bonds? First, because the US dollar denominated bonds issued by the US government or the US Treasuries are considered the safest form of US dollar bonds. So US Treasuries are rated AAA, meaning that there is the least probability of default by the issuer. Now, given that the Philippines has a credit rating of BBB+, it means that we are slightly riskier than the US in terms of the ability to repay our ROP bonds. So to compensate for this risk in investing in the Philippines instead of the US, investors would then want to receive higher returns from their ROP investments than US Treasuries. That is why when we issue our ROPs, there's what we call the spread from the benchmark, or the amount that investors are charging us for taking that extra risk. So to illustrate, in our most recent transaction last June, we raised $750 million from the issuance of our 10.5 yield of 8% as seen on the screen. Now that I have discussed the dynamics of how we set the rate for our US dollar investments, I will now go to the most exciting part, our first ever offering of the retail dollar bonds or RDBs. Our motivation for offering this new product to the ordinary Filipino lies in the following. First, It would increase investors' capacity to further diversify their investments by offering US dollar denominated instruments that can match the natural cash flows, especially for our overseas Filipino community. Investors are not only guaranteed a safeguard from potential foreign exchange risks, but more importantly, an opportunity to maintain the value of their hard-earned US dollar savings. Furthermore, with the national government assuming the final withholding tax on interest for retail dollar bonds, investors can enjoy the full fruits of their investments. Lastly, given that the RDBs are available at a minimum of 300 US dollars, this product serves as a more accessible financial instrument when compared to the traditional ROPs, which are available for a minimum amount of 200,000 US dollars. Our investment channels, which will be explained by our partner banks later, will also make it easier for our overseas Filipinos to open bank accounts and invest in RDBs even while outside the country. While the RDB is a new product being offered during these extraordinary times, we are confident that with the insights and feedback of our fellow kababayans from around the world, we will be one step closer to fulfilling our goal of further strengthening inclusion and financial literacy for the ordinary Filipino. So once again, maraming salamat po for giving us time to hear us out on this new offering. So let me turn you back over to Anjani for the next part of the webinar.
Wow, we learned a lot even in the first few minutes of the presentation. Thank you so much, Treasurer De Leon. By the way, our Zoom chat box and the comment section of our Facebook Live video are both open for your questions. And then later, after all the presentations are done, we will address your questions during our Q&A portion. All right, so I hope you are all ready to take down notes and take a screenshot as we do a deeper dive into the topic of RDBs, okay? So please welcome Assistant Manager Jude Galamba of the Development Bank of the Philippines. Take it away, Jude.
Thank you, Miss Jani. Good evening to all our kababayans watching all over in Singapore, our distinguished guests here in Zoom, and to all our viewers in the Facebook page of the Bureau of the Treasury and Bayanihan Singapore. I am Juden Calamba from the Development Bank of the Philippines, and I will discuss the background and investment options for the retail dollar bonds or RDBs. Next slide, please. Thank you. To start off, let's have a brief look back in the history of these bonds. Back in 2012, the Republic launched the Onshore Dollar Bonds or ODB program, where the Republic, via the Bureau of the Treasury, issued US dollar denominated securities in the Philippines. However, the ODBs were only made available to the qualified institutional buyers, or what we call the corporate investors, and also to government financial institutions. The 10.5-year bond was able to raise a 500 million US dollars, but the market demand for this investment is high and reached to more than 1.7 billion dollars, or 3.5 times more than of its issue size. The interest rate of the first ODB was set at 2.75% per annum, and it will mature on June 4, 2023. Next slide, please. Okay, so to continue with the string of successes that the BTR have had with its recent issuances, like the various tranches of the retail treasury bonds and the 2 premium bond issuances, the ODBs will be revamped in order to bring this opportunity to the greater investing public, including individuals, and especially our fellow Filipinos residing abroad. And this enhanced version of the ODBs will now be branded as the Retail Dollar Bonds or RDBs. The cash flow mechanism of the RDBs will now be more frequent, with interest being paid quarterly instead of semi-annually, meaning in 1 year, investor will get 4 quarterly coupons. And access to the bonds will now be more convenient with 2 placement methods and various online investment channels which you can invest. Rest assured that we will discuss all of this later in this presentation. With this RDB issuance, BTR is giving you more options and opportunities to invest. So for our first of our two placement methods, let's discuss the straight USD method. The straight USD is pretty much the typical operation of a US dollar denominated investment. Investors invest using their US dollars via selling agent bank during the offer period of RDB. And on the issue date, the selling agent banks aggregate all the placements made and remit the proceeds to the Bureau of the Treasury. After receiving the proceeds, the BTR then deploys the funds to various government implementing agencies to finance the public programs. And on every quarter and on the maturity date, the BTR remits the payment to the selling agent bank, in which our selling agent banks will deposit the amount due to the investors into their US dollar savings account, which serves as their settlement account. So basically, for the straight USD method, selling agent will deduct your placements from your nominated USD settlement account and then wait for the crediting of the quarterly interest and on the maturity date, the principal amount of your investment. Next slide, please. Thank you. So now to illustrate further the straight USD method and how RDBs work, let's take this example. For instance, you as an investor will make a $1,000 in placement made in a 10-year RDB. So again, RDB now carry a quarterly interest payment feature. So 3 months after the issue date and every 3 months thereafter until the maturity date, which is 10 years after the issue date, RDB investors will receive their interest in US dollars and will be credited in their nominated USD settlement account. So for this example, assuming a 2.5% per annum or per year coupon rate, RDB investors will get a 5.38 US dollars coupon every quarter deposited into their USD settlement account. So per year, that will be a 21.50 US dollar coupon interest from your RDB investment. And one of the best things about RDB is that taxes are paid for already by the issuer, which is the BTR. So the $21.50 interest per year or $5.38 interest per quarter is already clean from any deductions and will be totally credited to your USD settlement account. And then after 10 years, investors will now get their principal investment back. So going back in our example, investors will get their $1,000 principal back together with the final interest coupon payment. So a total of $1,005.38. Next slide, please. And now for our second placement method, we have what we call peso clear type of placement. The main difference between peso clear and straight USD is that peso clear allows investors to invest here in RDBs via Philippine peso. So investors will pay to their selling agent bank in Philippine peso and your bank will convert it into US dollars for you. And similar to straight USD, on the issue date, the selling agent banks will aggregate all the placements made and remit the proceeds to the Bureau of the Treasury. Then after receiving the proceeds, the BTR then deploys the funds to the various government agencies to implement and finance the public programs. And for this, and on every quarter on maturity date, the BTR remits the payment to the selling agent bank, in which afterwards, the selling agent bank credits the amount due to the investors converted automatically into Philippine peso, which the selling agent bank will deposit in a Philippine peso current or savings account that serves as the investor's settlement account. So overall, Peso Clear gives you an option to use your peso to invest in RDBs by letting your selling agent bank do the conversion for you. So you will expect your coupon interest and principal investment credited back to your Philippine peso current or savings account. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now to illustrate how Peso Clear works. Assuming again a $1,000 investment in a 10-year RDB, which also same in our example earlier that carries a 2.15% per annum interest rate. So during the day of the investment, the investor pays the Philippine peso equivalent of $1,000 at an exchange rate of 50 pesos to a dollar. So that it will be a 50,000 pesos. This is the equivalent Philippine peso placement of the investor. And then after 3 months from the issue date and every 3 months thereafter until the maturity date, RDB investors receive their interest, which is initially computed in US dollar, which is 5.38 dollars per quarter. So for our illustration, the exchange rate 3 months after the issue date will be at 50.5. So the selling agent bank will now use that conversion rate so to convert your interest from dollar to peso. So that the converted amount will be around 271.69 pesos. So 50.5 exchange rate times $5.38 na coupon interest for that quarter. So in the interest of the financial literacy, I would like to share to our audience the concept of the market price. Market price is simply how much a commodity or asset is worth to the market at a certain point in time. A practical example of this is say gas or diesel prices. I'm sure that we are all familiar with how frequent pump prices changes from time to time. This is similar also to currency exchange rate, which also change from time to time. So in our example, we have set the theoretical exchange rates. There are the figures highlighted in red. If you notice, although we get the same amount of quarterly interest, which is $5.38 per quarter, the converted peso amount varies. So it depends on the foreign exchange rate or the conversion on the time of the crediting of the coupon. So comparing the first converted interest, which is at 271.69 pesos, the second converted interest is now at 274.38 pesos. Hypothetically, the exchange rate went up during the second coupon payment. So our converted amount is also higher and the same amount has been credited to the peso settlement account of the investor. So now let's go to the third converted interest. Since for this example, the exchange rate, for example, went down to 49.5. So our converted amount is also lower. Then after 10 years from the issue date, the selling agent bank will credit the peso equivalent of the last coupon payment and principal investment to the peso settlement account of the investors. So for this example, like after 10 years, the hypothetical FX rate is at 52, then the total amount will be credited to the investors around 52,279.76. So this includes both the principal and the coupon payment converted in peso. Therefore, for the peso clear method, the peso equivalent of the quarterly coupon payments and the principal investment vary depending on the FX conversion rate of USD to PHP during the time of the crediting. So how is this information relevant to us as investors? So as informed investors, we should be aware of the risks that come with our investments. All investments have inherent risk, but those risks vary depending on the type of the investment and the issuer. In the case of RDBs, you will be investing in an asset class called government securities, specifically government bonds. These types of investment are known as a very low risk investments since it is backed by the full financial capacity of the issuing government. Next slide, please. Thank you. So now that we got to know the RDBs, perhaps the next question in our minds is how do we invest here in RDBs? So for the next part of our presentation, we will get to know the different investment channels that we have for RDBs. So for our first investment channel, we have what we call the over-the-counter or OTC channel. So if you have friends or family residing in the Philippines, they may invest via the traditional way by going to the branches of any of the selling agent banks nationwide. Second, we have the BTR's online ordering platform. And our third channel will be our mobile app-based channels, the OF Bank mobile banking app, and Bonds.ph app, which you can download for free from the App Store and Google Play. I'm sure some of you have questions about the RDBs and our investment channels. Don't worry, we have a Q&A portion where you can ask your questions and seek clarifications. We have also representatives from the Bureau of the Treasury and from the selling agent banks that will gladly take your questions. So for now, I will call our moderator, Miss Jani, for the next part of our session. Thank you.
Now, thank you so much, Jude. Yes, tama yan. how to invest in RDBs nga ba? Ngayong may alam na tayo tungkol dito. Paano kung tulad ninyo nasa Singapore? Well, a couple of investing channels for everyone that will be useful, especially for the overseas Filipinos, will be explained to us by the representatives from our partner banks. So let's start with the Overseas Filipino Bank. Please welcome Assistant Vice President Jose Emmanuel Valdez.
Thank you, Johnny. Magandang gabi po sa ating mga kababayan sa Singapore. Before I start, let me provide you with a brief background and updates about the Overseas Filipino Bank. OF Bank was established as a policy bank dedicated to cater to the banking needs and requirements of our OFWs and their beneficiaries, as well as other Filipinos overseas. OF Bank is a government financial institution and is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Land Bank of the Philippines. It is also the Philippines' first digital bank after securing the approval of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas last March 25, 2021. Since the launch of the Overseas Filipino Bank as a digital-only and branchless government bank in June 2020, it has expanded its reach to 113 countries in providing digital banking services to overseas Filipinos and OFWs. OF Bank utilizes the digital onboarding system with artificial intelligence, which allows you and your beneficiaries to open a savings account online through supported mobile devices. Through this digital account opening platform, you can securely submit all requirements and complete the account opening process without the need to go to any physical location. The OF Bank MBA has also been upgraded to offer a bond purchase feature which allows Filipinos from anywhere in the world to securely invest in Philippine government securities such as the Bureau of the Treasury's Premium Bonds 2 and the RTB 25. So during the Premium Bonds 2 offering from November to December of 2020, a total of 3,517 transactions amounting to 40.723 million were transacted. For the RTB 25, a total of 380 transactions worth 8.3 million were also coursed through the bank's mobile app. So our kababayans took advantage of these investment opportunities and at the same time contributed to the efforts of the national government to raise funds for various programs to accelerate the recovery of the Philippine economy due to the negative impact of COVID-19 pandemic. OF Bank's milestone is a testament to the government's unwavering support to overseas Filipinos and their families. Right now, we have 3 types of savings account. Ito po yung ating Visa debit card para sa ating mga overseas Filipinos at OFWs. Then we also have accounts or cards for your beneficiaries. This is also a Visa branded card. While for your beneficiaries below 18 years of age, meron ho silang matatanggap na regular debit card which pwede ho nilang i-claim in any of the branches of Land Bank at wala ho silang babayaran for the card for the initial issuance. Ang OF Bank accounts ho ay wala pong initial deposit at wala din hong maintaining balance. So ito ho yung mga requirements natin para makapagbukas ho kayo ng account sa Overseas Filipino Bank. Unang-una dapat ho ay meron kayong active email address and then active mobile number. So for the mobile number, pwede nyo hong gamitin yung locally issued by the telco there in Singapore. Or pwede naman ho yung existing nyo na Philippine number na ginagamit nyo po kung yan ho ay naka-roaming. And then one valid ID po para sa ating mga clients na magbubukas ho ng account for OFWs and overseas Filipinos. You can choose from your Philippine passport or the UMID ID or the PRC ID. For your beneficiaries, mas madami naman ho silang IDs na pamaaring pagpilian. So paano ho ba mag-open ng account? Napakabilis lang ho, in less than 5 minutes ay maaari ho kayong magbukas ng account. Sa ating mga kababayan na hindi pa ho nakakapagbukas, panoorin niyo ho ang mga sumusunod na videos para ho kayo makapagbukas ng account at makapag-invest sa retail dollar bonds ng ating Bureau of the Treasury.
Paano ba gamitin ang OF Bank Digital Account Opening Platform? I-download ang mobile banking app ng OF Bank mula sa Apple App Store o Google Play Store. Buksan ang app at sundin ang mga sumusunod na steps. Basahin mabuti ang terms and conditions ng application. I-click ang box sa itaas at pindutin ang next para sa susunod na step. I-provide ang profile at contact information. Click Next. Mag-nominate ng user ID. Click Next. Mag-set ng password. Click Next. Makaka-receive ka ng one-time PIN or OTP sa registered mobile number. Ilagay ito at i-click ang Submit within 5 minutes. Makakatanggap ka ulit ng isa pang OTP para naman sa registered email address. Ulitin lang ang naunang steps. I-click ang Submit. Para sa security ng account, mag-nominate ng 3 security questions. To complete your profile, sagutan ang lahat ng mga ito. Click Next. Piliin sa drop-down menu kung anong klaseng dokumento ang i-upload. Gamit ang Zoom Identity Check, kumuha ng selfie at sundin ang instructions sa app para sa identity verification. Click Submit pagkatapos mong ilagay ang ID number. I-review ang mga inilagay na account details at i-click ang Edit kung may gusto kang palitan. Click Confirm. Congrats! Kumpleto na ang OF Bank account application mo. Paano naman mag-deposit sa iyong bagong OF Bank account? With your cash, pumunta sa pinakamalapit na remittance company, Visa Direct Partner o bangko. Mag-cash in sa OF Bank OFW account. Kung meron ka namang iba pang bank account o e-wallet, gamitin ang Visa Direct o iba pang electronic banking channels tulad ng InstaPay para maglipat ng pera papunta sa OF Bank OFW account. Pwede ring pagmulan ng pondo ng OF Bank OFW account ang payroll, lalo na sa mga seafarers. Kapag may balance na ang OF Bank account, magagamit mo ito for fund transfers o pambayad. Overseas Filipino Bank, a savings bank of the Land Bank of the Philippines. Invest using your OF Bank mobile banking app. Invest and earn more than through traditional savings through the national government's Retail Dollar Bonds, or RDB. For a minimum investment of $300, maaari ka nang mag-invest. Gamitin ang OF Bank mobile banking app para sa mas madaling proseso. Simple lang ito. Buksan ang app, mag-login at i-click ang Payments sa main menu. Click Purchase Treasury Bonds at piliin ang Retail Dollar Bonds mula sa product selection. Basahin ang terms and policies at i-click ang Next. Sagutan ang transaction form, then submit. I-review ang mga detalye bago i-confirm ang transaction. Automatic na rin ang crediting ng mga quarterly interest payment sa iyong OF Bank account, from dollar to peso denomination based sa prevailing market rate hanggang sa maturity date ng investment mo. Convenient, safe, and secure. Invest now using your OF Bank mobile banking app. Grow your money na, kahit malayo ka. Secured na inyong investment, nakatulong ka pa sa kinabukasan ng ating bayan.
Okay, so with your OF Bank mobile banking app, maaari ho kayong makapagbukas ng account, pwede ho kayo mag-transfer ng funds to OF Bank and Land Bank accounts for free. And maaari din ho kayong mag-transfer ng pera or pondo sa mga accounts ho na naka-maintain sa ibang bangko dito sa Pilipinas sa pamamagitan po ng InstaPay at PesoNet. Pwede rin ho kayong magbayad ng inyong bills at maaari ho kayong makapag-invest sa government securities. So for more updates, please follow, like, and share the official OF Bank Facebook page and or visit our website at www.ofbank.com.ph. Sa ating mga kababayan ho na gustong mag-remit, pwede ho ninyong isend ang inyong mga remittance sa atin hong tinatawag na remittance agent partners sa Singapore. Sa ngayon po, we have 2 partners in Singapore. Ito po yung Steadfast Money Remittance at Western Union. So maraming salamat po. Back to you, Johnny.
Yan, maraming salamat, Sir Eman. And for another exciting investing channel, we have Mr. Roberto Marcos Samson, Business Development Section Head for Mindanao at the First Metro Securities Brokerage Corporation. Take it away, Sir Robbie.
Thank you, Miss Ajani, and good evening po sa ating lahat na andito ngayon. And so, wherever in the world you may be, good evening po. No? So my name is Roberto Marcos Samson of First Metro Securities Brokerage Corporation, the stock brokerage arm of the Metrobank Group. So on behalf of the Metrobank Group, I would like to express our gratitude, of course, to the Bureau of the Treasury for inviting us to be part of the RDB Roadshow. And over the next few minutes, please let me share with you po everything you need to know for you to be able to invest in a piece of history, the Philippines' maiden retail dollar bonds. But first things first, what are the requirements and how do you actually open a First Metro Securities dollar account? So let's watch this video po to find out.
Start your investment journey today with First Metro Sec. Here's how to open your account online. First, go to the First Metro Sec website and click Open an Account. Select whether you're a Metrobank account holder or other bank depositor. For a seamless application, prepare these requirements in advance. Tax identification number or TIN. An active email address. Valid ID with 3 signatures on a white paper. Proof of bank account and proof of address. For non-Metrobank account holders, a PRC ID or a driver's license is required. You must also make an initial deposit of at least 5,000 pesos or $100 US, which you can use to invest in stocks, funds, and bonds. There is no maintaining balance required. Once all of the requirements are prepared, you may proceed. Next, completely accomplish all the online forms. Once done, you will receive an email verification. Just click the link on the email to proceed. Then, upload the required documents you've prepared. And that's it, you are now done with your application. Note that it will take 2 to 3 business days to activate your account. Once your account is activated, you can access your First MetroSec account through your desktop or laptop, tablet, or phone through the First MetroSec Go app. For more information, visit our help center at help.firstmetrosec.com.ph. All the options and convenience within your reach through International Finance's best online broker and best online trading platform for 4 years in a row. With First MetroSec, it's your future first.
Okay, so after learning how easy, convenient, and overseas Filipino-friendly opening an account with us is, let's talk about how we can fund it naman po. So there are 3 equally easy options for you to choose from. And the first is by way of bank remittance. So number 1 po, the good thing about First MetroSec is funding can come from any bank or remittance center overseas using any currency. So number 2, you may deposit, transfer funds, and even fund via remittance to any of our bank accounts with pertinent details flashed in front of you. These are also available po in our website, www.firstmetrosec.com.ph. And lastly, you simply send a proof of deposit, proof of fund transfer, or proof of remittance via our e-help desk or by emailing them to our customer service at customerservice.firstmetrosec.com.ph. Make sure po that you use your registered email address and include your full name, OTA number, amount, transaction date, and time, plus a clear copy of your proof of funding. Next slide, please. Next naman po is funding your account via Metrobank Online. So the first step is to go to the Metrobank Online website and log in using your credentials. Second, register First Metrosec as a biller. So just go to Contacts, under Billers, click the Add button. For contact name, type your preferred label or nickname, and under Biller, choose First Metro Securities Brokerage Corp USD. So please don't forget to choose the option with USD at the end and enter your account number. So your account number with First Metro Securities should begin with UOTA. So this can be found at the upper right side of your online investment account beside the username. Then enter your phone number. Number 4, enter your password to finalize. And number 5, click on Pay Bills from the dashboard. Lastly po, enter the amount you wish to fund your account with, your registered First Metrosec biller, and your source account in case of multiple accounts. So choose the schedule, whether now or later, and click Next. So reminder lang po, make sure you review the transaction before clicking Continue. Then your Metrobank passcode to confirm the transaction. A similar step-by-step funding instruction manual can also be found in our website, www.firstmetrosec.com.ph. Next naman po, funding your First Metrosec dollar account via BDO Pay Bills. So the first step is to log into your BDO online account. On the left menu bar, click on Enrollment Services and select Company/Biller, then click on Enroll. Choose First Metro Securities Brokerage Corp -USD. Number 3, under subscriber number, enter your First Metrosec account code. Again, this should begin with UOTA. This can be found at the upper right side of your online investment account beside the username. Then enter your name and indicate your preferred nickname for the company or biller enrolled. Next, for select channels for enrollment, put a check on online banking, then click Submit. To fund your First Metrosec account, select Financial Services on the left menu, then select Bills Payment, then Pay Bills. Fill out the payment details, choose the source of funding, and enter the amount you wish to transfer. For payment schedule, select immediately, then click Submit. Reminder po, for the amount to be reflected in your First Metrosec account within the day, transfer funds within office hours. So office hours are 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Manila time. If funds are transferred beyond office hours, especially for those residing outside the Philippines, please send a copy of the fund transfer receipt with your name and First Metrosec account number to customer service at firstmetrosec.com.ph. Funds transferred beyond office hours will be processed the next business day. So a similar step-by-step funding instruction manual can also be found in our website. After opening your First Metrosec account, funding it using a wide array of options, and eventually investing in the retail dollar bonds, you also need to know how to withdraw funds from your First Metrosec dollar investment account. In order to do that, we need to first go to account, then click withdrawal request. Number 2, enter an amount. Number 3, enter your password and click next. Number 4, go to view withdrawal request to see the status of your request. So a reminder, withdrawals will be credited to your nominated settlement bank account and only cleared cash can be withdrawn. So sell proceeds shall be made available for withdrawal after 3 trading days, and bank transfer fees, if any, shall be for the client's account. So USD withdrawal shall be processed through a nominated dollar account, and withdrawal requests received past cutoff time shall be processed the next trading day. So yung cutoff time po natin, cutoff and credit time for withdrawals of USD cleared funds is 9:30 a.m. Philippine time on a trading day. So that is our withdrawal cutoff time. Our crediting time is same day before 9 p.m. Philippine time. So if you withdraw beyond the cutoff, the crediting is on the next trading day before 9 p.m. Philippine time or earlier. You know, we're making investing simple, accessible, and affordable by giving you access to one powerful online account for all your investment needs, from stocks to peso and dollar bonds to mutual funds, UITFs, real estate investment trust, and the first and only exchange traded fund in the Philippines, the FMETF. We're also giving you 24 by 7 online account opening, online investing, online funding, online withdrawals, an e-help desk, and even online and customized financial literacy programs. If you'd like to learn more about First Metrosec, please visit our website, www.firstmetrosec.com.ph, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and on Twitter, and subscribe to our official YouTube channel for on-demand webinars. For inquiries, concerns, and speaking engagement invites, drop us an email via customer service at firstmetrosec.com.ph. So on behalf po of First Metro Securities Brokerage Corporation of the Metrobank Group, thank you and good evening.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Sir Robbie. And I encourage everyone to try opening an account with either of the investing channels presented so that you will already be familiar with the platform, and then come offer period, you will be ready to invest. Okay? So that ends the entire RDB presentation. We'll now proceed with the Q&A portion. But please continue typing in your questions on Zoom and on Facebook. Okay, so let's start with questions sent to me directly. Okay, for the investing channels, Sir Eman and Sir Robbie, are there fees that I need to pay to invest in the RDBs? Sir Eman, would you like to go first?
Okay, Johnny, thank you. Para sa atin hong mga investors, wala ho kayong babayaran na any fee para po sa pag-i-invest niyo sa RDB. So, kung magkano ho yung exchange rate, since peso ho ang account sa Overseas Filipino Bank, kung magkano ho yung dollar investment po ninyo for the RDB, i-convert lang ho yan at i-debit po yung peso equivalent sa inyong account. So other than that, wala na ho kayong babayaran pang iba. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, Sir Evan. How about Sir Robbie?
Yes, thank you po. So similar to Sir Emma, no, I'm also happy to announce na wala din po tayong fees na i-incur sa pag-i-invest sa RRDB na ito.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Robbie. Next question. Okay, who can invest in the RDB? Can foreigners invest in the RDB? Let's ask Mark Hong of the Bureau of the Treasury.
Thanks for that question. The RDBs can be pwedeng mag-invest sa RDBs lahat ng individuals as long as may Philippine bank account sila. So if you are a foreign resident, as long as you have a Philippine bank account, you have a tax identification number, you can actually invest in the RDBs.
Okay, thank you so much, Mark. Next question. $300 is minimum, but what is the maximum amount of investment that is allowed? Jude, would you like to answer the question? The maximum amount of investment?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Shani, for that question. Yes, correct. $300 is the minimum investment for RDBs, and for the maximum amount of investment, we don't have any maximum amount of investment. So you can also invest kung gaano niyo po kalaki gusto i-invest for this RDB. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Jude. Next question. I think this one is for the Bureau of the Treasury. What happens if there is an oversubscription? Treasurer Leah?
Salamat for the question. usually sa aming mga retail offerings, we really make sure na we accommodate lahat ng mga retail applications, no? So hindi po namin we'll make sure po na lahat po na mag-i-invest na from our small and retail sector will be accommodated. So we'll be happy na if we'll have a very strong reception for this issuance, just like our retail treasury bonds. Thank you.
Thank you, Treasurer. Next question. Pwede bang nominated US dollar account na and or account, as in joint account? Maybe either of the investing channels, Sir Marco or Sir Eman?
So I'll go first po, no? So actually ay
Sorry, Sir Robbie.
sige po.
Yes,
So
you go ahead.
actually ano naman po, no? When it comes to actually opening a US dollar denominated account, pwede naman po natin siyang gawin. We typically open an or account for joint accounts po, no? So pwede naman po 'yon. What I am not quite sure yet as of now po is if we will be allowing yung joint accounts to purchase the retail dollar bond kasi that is a limitation for the previous bond offerings po, no? So but in terms of just opening an account, pwede po talaga siyang joint.
Okay, thank you, Sir Robbie. How about Sir Eman?
Johnny,
Okay,
say
go
mo-
ahead, Mark.
To add to that answer, traditionally dun sa mga over-the-counter channels natin, you can actually use your joint US dollar accounts to invest, just like sa mga RTBs natin and premium and RTB lang pala. Pero for online channels, ni-restrict natin siya to individual accounts.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Mark. Okay, I think this is the last question that we have. When will the Bureau of the Treasury start to sell the RDBs? Treasurer Leah?
And
Someone's
Jenny
very
is
excited.
I was about to say na I can feel na they are really so eager na to already doing their investment. So as I think na-mentioned earlier, no, na we're looking sana to already do it this month, no, but as you all know, we are under ECQ for another week sa Manila and sa NCR. And of course, after that, we'd also want to ascertain market conditions, no, na how our ROPs, kasi yun po magiging benchmark natin in terms of the performance. And there's also kung walang volatility in terms of US Treasuries, no. But rest assured po na once we have already pinned down that date, we will be again knocking on the doors of our embassy to disseminate far and wide dyan po sa Singapore about the results of the launch of our RDBs. And of course, sasabi rin po kami, we will inform you of the results of the auction para yung mga fill in the blanks na I know na right now medyo we haven't been able to provide the information. Siguro po nagtatanong na po lahat, ano ba ang coupon niyan? Ano ba interest niyan? How long will the tenor be? So, 2 numbers pa po ang kulang namin sa inyo, ang tenor at ang coupon. So, magbabalik po kami to give and fill up those 2 blanks. But of course, I'm sure po, this in terms of the return, this would be much, much more than what you are earning sa inyong time deposits, sa inyong dollar time deposits. And of course, also, we'll make sure na yung pong maturity nito would cater to the appetite of our retail investors. Tamang-tama lang po sa investment horizon na tinitingin po nyo. Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much, Treasurer De Leon, and thank you to all our speakers. That ends our Q&A. Thank you so much for your active participation. And keep yourself updated with the latest offerings of the Bureau of the Treasury by following them on Facebook and on Twitter. If you have more questions, you can message the Bureau of the Treasury on social media. Also, please visit www.treasury.gov.ph. I hope marami kayong natutunan ngayong gabi and that you will invest in the RDBs come offer period. Back to you, Miss Minnie.
Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much po, Ms. Rosalia V. De Leon, and to Mr. Johnny Dose, and to all the other source or source speakers. That was a very, very lively discussion on this first ever on US dollar onshore bond offering natin po from the Bureau of Treasury. So thank you so much. Very informative, very educational, and at least we have another window of opportunity to invest. So that is very good, and that will go into helping Philippine economy and helping it fight against the pandemic in the long run. So thank you po very much. And just like to add po sa mga nanonood at nakikinig sa mga kababayan natin, bonds are not something that everyone invests in, but I can say that they're one of the most relatively safest tools of investment, and Philippines having an investment grade, that's a very big plus, which means that the government can easily pay back whatever they are borrowing. So malaki pong confidence ng mga investors atin. So wag po kayong mahiya, wag po kayong mag-hesitate. If you have some savings, this is just one of the very means that you can earn more. Kasi mali na po mga interest natin sa mga bangko, halos 0 points, 0 basis points, 0 basis points. And wag po kayong matakot sa basis points. 100 basis points is just 1%. Ganun lang po yun. So don't be afraid. Yung pong mga nakikinig, mga ate sa bahay at mga housewives din po, wag po kayong matakot. Basta kung gusto niyo mag-ipon at dami ng pera, bonds is one way po. So yun lang pong opinion. You can agree or not agree, but it's one of the safest ways to invest. So yun lang po. Thank you so much. Malaking confidence po yan sa gobyerno. So thank you so much, Ms. Leah De Leon and Ms. Ajani, and to all our investment bankers who explain how to invest. So before we end, may I now invite Ms. Christy Vicentina, our PBSS Honorary Treasurer, to deliver the closing remarks. Christy, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Minnie. Good evening to our friends and kababayans in Singapore. To our friends and families in the Philippines, mabuhay. On behalf of Philippine Bayanihan Society Singapore, allow me to say thank you to the people who helped us for tonight's webinar. Ms. Rosalia V. De Leon, maraming salamat po, Treasurer. It is always an honor to meet you in our financial literacy campaigns, albeit virtually. And it is our hope that one day we can do this on a face-to-face condition together with our Filipino community in Singapore. The retail dollar bond is a win-win alternative to support our national government back home and at the same time maximizing the potential or the earnings for our hard-earned money in dollar form or without the FX or foreign exchange play. So let us maximize this opportunity. Thank you to Ms. Ajani Dose of Land Bank for co-moderating tonight's webinar. Maraming salamat din po to all our friends who always help us promote our webinars. Philippine Embassy Singapore led by His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Del Maria. Maraming salamat, Ambassador, for always joining us for our webinars. Thank you to Consul Lala Gandarosa and Wilford Wong who are here in the webinar. And to Richard and Rex of FLPH, Lynn of CDE, Eloisa of FAUS, Miss Lucy Tagle of Miss Petit Team, Fast Associates, Rita J, Lucky Plaza Ladies, FAS, OSPAS, UAP, Ateneo LSE, UPAAS, Kabayanihan, and Team BNG. Allow me to invite you to join us with Team BNG and let us all run as one healthy community in Singapore. And for every one runner that we commit, Team BNG will donate $1 each to Philippine Bayanihan Society Singapore, to Domestic Employees Welfare Fund, and to Christian Outreach to the Handicapped. So let us all run as one healthy community while helping all these organizations. And special thank you to all our participants in Zoom and Facebook for making our event a success. Please don't forget to click the like button for us. Again, maraming salamat and mabuhay. Back to you, Minnie.
Thank you. Thank you, Christy. Yes, we indeed have to thank all our faithful supporters. Huwag po kayong mawala. And now there's another, mag-invest po tayo dito sa bonds. So thank you again. If you wish to visit the Bayanihan Center, which currently opens only for a few days in a week, it's located at 43 Pasir Panjang Road, and the nearest MRT station is Labrador Park MRT. For any inquiry, please email us at bayanihancenter@singnet.com.sg or call at 6474-3700. Please like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Bayanihan Society SG. Please follow us on Instagram at Bayanihan Society SG. And please support us by donating via giving.sg/PBSS. In addition, you can also support the society by sponsoring or advertising in our webinars and projects. For details, please email Cecil or Mindy at bayanihancenter@singnet.com.sg. Our next major event will be our Bayanihan Lecture 2021. This is an annual event. And this year, the topic is Bayanihan during the COVID-19 pandemic, experiences and future directions. This will be held on August 29, 2021, Sunday, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Our keynote speaker is Father Aristotle C.D., S.J., Ph.D. He is the president of RDA Foundation and president of Savior School. So please join us on August 29 and listen to him share the experiences and also his insights about our pandemic situation. Thank you all very much for joining us today. We hope this has been a fruitful discussion and fruitful endeavor for everyone, presenting us an opportunity to grow our money with an investment in the Philippines. Thank you again to our distinguished guest speaker, Ms. Rosalia V. De Leon, and guest moderator, Ms. Jani Dose. Please note our next webinar will be in October. We will be having a break in September as we have had so many webinars the last 2-3 months. So we look forward again to everyone in October. And the topic is Wealth for Success even during the pandemic. The guest speaker is Mr. Raymond Wong. He's a wealth planning expert and also a chartered accountant. So please book and mark your date in October. That's October 7. But before that, we have our Bayanihan lecture on August 29. So this is Minerva Lau, and together with the staff and board of the Philippine Bayanihan Society Singapore, we say thank you for joining us tonight and see you at the next webinar. Please keep well, keep safe, do not forget your mask and safe distancing always. Good night and God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.